Hello walkers, and welcome back to Bozeman, Montana. It's mid-October and about noon, and it's 43 degrees Fahrenheit, 6 degrees Celsius. I'm going to take you on another tour of Bozeman. Today we're going to go through the south side of Bozeman, where a lot of old homes are, mainly because, sorry about the pitch there, I'm hoping to catch the last of the color. We've had some really great fall foliage color here in Montana. And the last 2 days we've had snow and, rain and sleet and wind, and you can see a lot of the leaves on the ground here downtown. We're going to head up Wilson into the south side, and then we'll make a right and look around over there. I'm going to try and keep this camera so the exposure is not red off of the sky. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm because of the weather, I'm a little bit behind, and this should have gone up this morning, but hopefully I'll get it out by this evening. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is starting a Roku channel, one of those streaming sticks you can get for your television. Let me know what you think about that. If you watch these on your television, if you are crossing Babcock now, I can tell from my YouTube analytics that a lot of people watch these on their television, which is great. It'd be even better if people were watching them at the gym on televisions. But I don't know if people would be up for a Roku channel. It'd be free, just like this YouTube channel is. But, you never really know. So the last few days it's been snowing and cold. We got probably 6 to 8 inches over in Livingston. I haven't checked the statistics on that. Don't know how much they got over here. But my wife, traveling Mel, who has done some walks for us in the past, told me that the weather service is calling for weather in the teens later in this week. So winter is upon us. We're going to cross Olive. A little bit about the history of the area where we're going to walk, particularly Wilson Street. This is going to be the older section of town, the more stately homes, a lot of big old trees along the roads, as you can see. See a lot of them have lost their leaves and still got some color here. Hopefully that'll get better. This road goes north-south, Wilson does. This house right here, for a long time, for a little while, back in the 90s, was a coffee shop. I believe it's office space now. And here's Yellow Dog Fly Fishing Adventures. They do fly fishing trips all over the world. Pretty well known and famous in the fly fishing community. We're coming up on Curtis, and there's an apartment complex over there. Pretty dated. But these older homes, this is sort of the she neighborhood to be in town here. And basically we're walking up towards the university, the east side of the university. And we're actually gonna go up a ways and then duck around into the neighborhood. You can tell that Wilson's, with the growth in population of Bozeman, Wilson has gotten very busy. I came in from the highway on 7th Street, North 7th Street, and there are 3 new buildings, multi-story buildings, that have gone up or are in construction since the last time I was here, which has been a couple months. So we're coming up on Koch, is how you pronounce this. Pronounce this K-O-C-H. And we're going to make a right into this neighborhood. I've had a lot of people, or not a lot, 2 or 3 people. Seems like a lot when I'm called out on not doing as good a job as I should, commenting about the up and down motion of the camera. And I've mentioned many times the cheap replacement I got for the Scotty Makes vertical axis stabilizer, and I finally plunked down recently for a new version that he makes out of Australia. I just have to wait a month or so to get it. Hopefully that's all it'll take. Definitely not the cheapest version, but he makes good stuff, so I'm looking forward to that. Getting that and reducing some of this up and down vertical stabilization. See, I had hoped that the weather would have cleared by now so we could have gotten some better sunlight on these leaves, really lit them up, but I fear that we're basically going to lose them all after this week. So another old apartment complex. I think I might have mentioned this in another walk no, it's a different building, sorry. The other building there, we're going to tear it down, or it was for sale, and rather than sell it to someone who had turned it into high-priced condos, the owner sold it to a nonprofit that was going to keep it as affordable housing. Which is a big problem here in Bozeman especially, but in the West in general. See some of these houses. What we'll do here is we'll walk down this street, which is 3rd Avenue, and go by the Emerson and then sort of snake our way back. Look at this nice house. Love these big porches. In lieu of a vertical axis stabilizer, I'm trying to walk. Call it the ninja step. You're sort of rolling around and keeping a smooth as possible gait. But without a lot of practice, it's easy to forget and go back to my normal up and down motion. It's also pretty tiring on the legs if you're not used to it. Excuse me, which I am not. These sort of craftsman style houses. Give us a like, a thumbs up, and comment. I love getting comments, especially I've been getting a lot recently of people's personal stories of their connection to a place, or a personal story from the place, or how they're using these videos to get exercise during quarantine or to virtually travel when they are not able to. I love getting those comments and hearing how people are using them, if they're helpful, and I even appreciate getting the feedback that is not, this constructive criticism. I do want to make these videos very useful for you guys. You can see the big brick building up there is the Emerson Center for Culture and the Arts, I think is the title. And a lot of artistic space. They have a ballroom, they have a theater, there's a restaurant in there, and etc. Then they have this, we see these kids playing up here. They have this open area where in the past, in the before times, in the summer, they would have a summer lunch on the lawn and usually some music to go with it, and you could come out and have a picnic. They'd have food vendors, etc. We're back on Olive, and I want to show you this house. I think it's condos or apartments now, and I should have a wider lens for this but anyway, neat old Victorian home. See the mossy river rock wall. This is 4th that we're crossing. I'm gonna go walk down the street a little bit. And get a better view of some of these houses. Here in the US, we are in the middle of an election cycle, if you for some reason haven't heard. And so we have a lot of yard signs, political yard signs, of people conveying how they're going to vote. I kind of wonder, having been in a few countries during elections other than the US, if that's just a US specific thing. If you're in another country, let me know. Do you guys put out political yard signs, or is that just not part of the way things are done? See, your people have jack-o'-lanterns on their porches, ready for Halloween. Not sure how they're going to do Halloween this year. A lot of these smaller houses are rented by young professionals or students, and they make enough money for the owners, I guess, to not sell out and go big. We're going to make a left. I think this is, 5th Avenue. On our way, sort of meandering around over to Cooper Park, which I think I've shown before. It's a dog park, off-leash dog park. Others are welcome as well, of course. Here we've got a little friendly, hopefully a friendly little cat. We'll go say hi. Hey, kitty kitty. Hi there. Oh, scaredy cat. if you notice here, this intersection has no stop sign. This is Curtis, 5th and Curtis, if you're following along on a map. And the rule is, for this, one, you have to slow down to 15 miles an hour, and then the person to your right has the right of way. We have a lot of those in Livingston, and the law says one thing, but the way people drive in town says another, in that there are streets that are main drags and they don't yield, typically. Coming back to Koch Street. Well, there's some color. Let's go down here to see the foliage and other streets, other houses. The median home price in Bozeman, last I checked, which was not recent, mid 400s, $400,000. These are going to be way above that. I'm guessing this one would go for, it is for sale, 6 or 7. Total guess. Beautiful homes though. There's a little sunlight peeking through. And go right on 4th here. So you can make a look down this alley, or no, 4th Street. It's a narrow street. There's several houses behind the big houses. Here's another one over here, referred to as Carriage Houses. I think this is one. I had a friend that lived up in that one. Is that the one? Maybe. In any case, you can rent apartments there. I don't know what the situation is with Airbnbs at this point. Seems to be a mix. Anyway, my friend one time they had a bear in one of the trees along that alley. And this is the time of the year they will often come into town to eat berries and apples and fatten up as much as possible. This is Story Street. We are going to make a right turn on Story Street and head down to the park. Let's walk out in the street again. This tree up here, it's almost snowing leaves. Looks like a lot of those didn't even get a chance to change. This is 5th and Story. And this is Cooper Park. Let's cross over. Happy dog out there. So I just ran into a friend of mine in the park and stopped to have by a hooligan apparently, and had a conversation, a good conversation with him. I hadn't seen him in a while. We are coming up on 11th Street, which is a nice little divided boulevard. A little squirrel saying hi. And we'll loop up here to towards the university again, so south. Starting to feel a little rain. Hopefully that'll hold off for a little bit. This is the First Church of Christ Scientists. I don't know if that's a Christian Scientist or not. Got some nice homes across the way. We're just going to go up here to Dickerson and make a left back into the neighborhood. Off to the right is Irving School. It's a grade school, primary school, some might call it. So the way the streets run, the next street up, if we were to continue on, would be Alderson, and then Grant. And Grant runs around the north side of the university. I go right up 7th. Then we'll make a left on Alderson. If you're wondering, I don't really have a plan here. Just taking you on a little exploration. You can see on the license plates the number 6, which indicates that it's a Gallatin County registration. Coming up on another park, which I believe is called Southside Park, if I remember correctly. Yep. In the winter, they will flood part of it and have a skating rink when it gets cold enough. And I believe they will turn for a while they were turning the tennis courts. They do the same thing there, flood it, and turn it into curling rink. It's not really a big sport here, but I think it had its moment among the bearded and IPA crowd. And I don't mean that dismissively as it sounds. Look at all these beautiful trees. Check out this sculptures over here. We're at 4th and Alderson if you're interested. Angelic Knight, Chrome. Well, I think this deserves an exploration. Skier. Look at that face. Keep seeing new stuff. Moth. Very cool. Make a right on Dickerson. See a lot of these vans out here now, these converted Sprinter vans. Ram has a version now. People are converting into sort of little RVs. Kitty, kitty. I think we're gonna actually continue over to Wilson. That's what we're gonna do. Till someone's over here working on this house, probably converting that garage, or about to tear it down maybe. Luckily you can't really hear the music they're blaring, so hopefully Google/YouTube won't get too upset with me for letting that play in the background. And up here we're coming up to, once again, Wilson, which is, we started off to the left at Wilson and Main. Saw the Baxter building at the very beginning. You can see some of these older, nicer homes, even nicer than some of the ones we've been seeing. Downside, of course, is they're on this busy street. Beautiful. Let's head back towards downtown. Look at this one. Not much on the color, but look at all that woodwork. Very cool. And then they've got their Halloween skeletons out, or somebody does. This other house looks like a dollhouse compared to the big one. In any case, thanks for joining me. I think we're going to wrap it up here. We're coming back to Story. If you want to find out some of the home prices of this area, there's several for sale signs around, and so you can find all that stuff by checking online. Looks like this is Bozeman Brokers. I've seen several different brokerage signs. ERA Landmark. .com will have houses in the area. Give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. Leave us a comment. I do love getting the comments. I'm going to show you one last house because it's a big one, and it's got a pretty interesting backyard that I can't really get a view of because they have it fenced off with a hedge. But can't remember the details right now, but it's I think this is one of the well-known architects from back in the day. Beautiful house. We will see you next time, and I'm not sure where that's going to be from yet, so all the more reason to click that bell to get notified. Again, thank you for joining us. I do appreciate your time and attention. We will see you next time. In the meantime, keep on stepping.